Welcome to Instructor Insights. I'm Graham.
I'm Claire.
And we're both career snowboard instructors. Now, this video series is the beginner snowboard gear series. So we're going to cover what beginners need to know before they get out onto the slopes.
Yeah, so that covers what? Like boards, boots, bindings, outwear?
Yeah, exactly. So this is geared towards beginner snowboarders or people who are maybe on their second season. And it is the off season, right? So this is a great time to watch this so you can get prepared for your season.
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
Okay, so before we keep going, let's introduce each other and share with you our snowboarding stories, where it started and how. So, who are you?
Okay, I'm Graham, and I've been snowboarding for 30 years now. I started back in 1995.
How old were you?
I was 10 years old. 10 years old. Yeah,
wow.
I know. I got into skateboarding, and it only made sense to do snowboarding. I'm a Canadian. I was from a skiing family. I took ski lessons, my whole life. But for me, snowboarding was what I needed to do. So my first board was a Black Snow Legend. It had a pointed nose, a flat tail, and I had Sorel boots to make it work because I didn't have snowboarding boots at that point. No, well, I didn't have them.
Okay.
And
it worked.
And it worked, yeah. I would run and grab my snowboard after my ski lessons at the end of the day, and I didn't have lessons. They didn't exist at my hill, so I had to figure out how to turn the thing by just pointing it and crashing and pointing it and crashing.
Many times.
Yeah, but fast forward, 30 years, now I'm a professional instructor. I have been for over 15 years, and snowboarding has brought me to China. It's brought me to Andorra. I deliver certification courses for the Canadian Association of Snowboard Instructors.
So what are you, like level 3?
Yes,
no,
that's it. Level 3, yeah. And I deliver level 2, 1, and Park 1 courses. So there you go. You keep at something you love, and it can turn into a career.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah. What about you? What's your snowboarding story?
Yeah. So my snowboarding stories, my mom gifted my dad a snowboard for his 45th birthday. Very cool.
Very cool.
And so he was trying to figure it out in a field, little hills in France. Obviously, I'm French. And he kind of managed it, but shortly after we went to the Alps. And in the Alps, they had one rental shop with one snowboard, too big for me, too heavy for me. But I was the only one. So that's the one we would rent. And as you, there was pointed nose, and it was an alpine board and alpine boots. How do you call them?
Hard boots.
Hard boots. Ooh,
okay.
So uncomfortable in the feet, but whatever. We didn't care. We're young. And same as you, just trying to figure it out on your own, because no snowboard lesson whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah. And fast forward, I moved to Canada, West Coast, Whistler, where we met. When I was 21, to follow my passion for snowboarding, basically, and my sense of adventure. Was that a half?
No, I was...
Anyways, this is where I moved, and for 13 years, 13 winter, I had the privilege, the gift to share my passion, with students from all around the world. I'm a CASI level 3, so Canadian Association of Snowboard Instructor, and I deliver a level 1 certification as well.
Yeah. Good. Okay, so you're in good hands. We've got plenty of experience, and we're stoked to share it with you.
So what you need to know before you buy your gear for your first season or second season is that it doesn't need to be the latest gear. It doesn't need to be expensive. It needs to fit you. That's really important. It needs to be adapted to the weather, right? Something that's really, let's say, waterproof if you're living on the West Coast, for example, or if you're in an environment that's very cold, making sure you have the right clothes, basically. And so we will talk about that more in detail, but for instance, let's say for your snowboard, it doesn't need to be super stiff or high performance board, right? You want something fun, you want something playful, forgiving as well. so you can have like a great first experience, right? So what else? What do we have to? What can we share here for people?
I honestly, when you go snowboarding for the first time, I think that renting is probably a pretty good option.
I agree.
Because you got to make sure you fall in love with the sport, which you probably will, because it's awesome. But renting, they have entry-level boards, right? And before making the financial commitment to a snowboard, you can try it out and get some advice from your instructor too. And that's one thing I would say too is that it's always good to get a lesson, especially during your first day or your first time snowboarding.
Yeah, may I add with the renting?
Absolutely, yeah.
So when you rent a board, what's cool also is like you can change, right? Like if you don't like it, like I don't know, your board is too big for you, or you want to, I don't know, the weather is different and you want like to change your board, it's possible when you rent, which is cool.
So when do you think that people should make the jump from renting to buying gear?
That's a good question. Maybe. Well, it depends of your financial situation.
Yeah.
But let's see you hooked. You're gonna be riding like every weekend, or maybe you move to the mountains, or when you really feel confident with your equipment as well, with your snowboard. Like this is good. It's it's the right board. Then maybe it's time to make the step.
I'd even add like once you get a hang of the basics too, once you kind of figure out how to turn and stuff, and you say, okay, I'm going to keep at this, then you can invest in something that's a little bit more than an entry-level board maybe as well.
Totally,
right?
yeah.
Now, we'll get into the specifics of how to choose a board in a later episode, but for now, are there any kind of mistakes that you've seen beginners or first-time snowboarders make when it comes to gear?
Yeah, sure. Normal, right? What did I see? Some boards that don't have enough wax, so they're not moving. Like literally, people can't even slide on them. So that's too bad. What else? Some bindings that are not properly fixed on the board. So that doesn't help either because you don't have the right stance or balance on your board, and that makes it super difficult. Or the wrong gear, like the jeans, or like not enough layers when it's cold. So again, like the fact to be comfortable, I can't stress that enough. Like this is so important because then you don't have to think about that, and you can really focus on your progression and on having fun and figure it out. And for that, I think also we were talking about taking lesson, no? Like what's your point?
I mean, the instructor is there to help you learn the gear as well. That's one of the first things you learn is getting what the gear is for, how it's supposed to fit you, what you're supposed to be feeling while you're riding. And they'll be there to act as your guide while you figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good point, yeah.
Good. On the topic of snowboard lessons, we are professional instructors, so we're going to share with you some tips about riding. Now, the first tip is take a lesson. If you're at the very first day or you're one season in, it's always a good idea to take a lesson because your instructor is there to help you learn more quickly. They'll point out what's working and what you can improve on to help you move through the progression faster, and they'll also help you fall less. They'll keep you safe because they know how to break things down into steps, into micro steps, to make sure that you learn this in the easiest way possible.
Yeah, definitely. Like that was just a huge difference for me, at least when I started snowboarding. So no lesson, and then later on when I moved to Whistler, like I took a snowboarding lesson. It was just mind blowing. Like my level just went up, my confidence went up as well. And talking about falling, like I wish someone would have told me that earlier in my progression, but you will fall, okay? And falling is normal. Like it's normal because that's the only way for you to learn in a way, like for your body to remember what to do and to don't do. And so that's kind of a part that is, linked. Some student that's where you may have fear, and stress about falling. Yet it's part of it. It's like there's not that many shortcuts, you know, like you need to fall to figure it out. Oh, okay, this is okay, I caught an edge on that one. So next time, like I will bend my knees more, for example, you know, like so yeah, that's part of the progression, but the more you go and the less you're gonna fall though.
That's true, yeah. And on the topic of falling, if you do find yourself falling, repeatedly because of the same thing, one thing you can do is move to mellower terrain. You might be on terrain where it's too difficult for your ability level, right? You know, you point that board down the hill, it picks up speed. So if we can lower the slope, you're going to pick up less speed, which brings down your anxiety levels and gives you a bit more time to practice that maneuver that you're trying.
And I mean, we get it, right? At the beginning, you're excited. Like, you should have seen us when we started surfing, you know? Like, you're so excited, you're gonna go, it's gonna be easy. And, you know, it's a bit humbling experience. Like, maybe the terrain was too steep. Yeah. And, like, have that wisdom.
Definitely. And one other thing I think we can say as a tip is go with your friends. If you can, you know, get your friends into it. And if you can't, see if there's any group lessons or clinics or camps happening at the local mountain, because it's really, really fun to do this sport with other people.
Yeah, like social media also, you know, like it's people are going to keep you motivated, but they're also going to challenge you. So for instance, I know that if I'm going alone or I'm going with you or with our crew, with our group of people, like I will not challenge myself the same way. I will not dare some, you know, maybe maneuver or maybe tricks, you know, than when I'm with my people. So that's very important. And snowboarding is also like, it's something that needs to be shared. You know, it's just like, how can I say that? Amplify the stoke and the happiness and the joy, you know? So it's really special to share that with people. People we've shared that with are still our friends like 20 years later because we are connected, you know, like through that, all these experiences in the mountains.
So there you go. There's a few tips from us as professional instructors.
So the next topic we want to share with you about that's going to help your progression is how we learn things the hard way. So what is maybe one tip you can share of something like you wish maybe someone have told you or that took time?
Something I learned the hard way?
Yeah.
Now I have to think back 30 years to when I learned snowboarding, but I do know you turn a snowboard more effectively with your lower body than your upper body. That's a you know, in skiing you keep your upper body down the hill in a pretty locked position and the legs are just kind of flowing out like that. In snowboarding, you know, our whole body at the beginning anyway works as one unit, and so you can't forget that your legs are going to drive the snowboard. They're going to deliver power to that snowboard. I think when I was learning, I remember like turning my shoulders and expecting the snowboard to come, but it didn't. So yeah, there's one little tip. What about you?
I love it. I love it. For me, that will be, like how to not catch edges like repetitively and end up on my bum all the time. Okay. And so I wish I've known that by, for example, bending my knees, you know, in a transition, or by slowing down the turn and not going really fast from toes to hillside edge to take the time to go and feel the flat of the snowboard first, I would have avoided multiple bruises on my bum and knees.
Fair enough. Oh, yeah, I got one more because you just sparked one in my mind. Learning how to do what's called side slipping, which is just speed control on one edge, right? You're strapped 2 feet into the snowboard and you're balancing on one edge and sliding down the hill, slowing down, going faster. That's called side slipping.
So important.
One thing I guess I wish I knew was in learning side slipping, if you're falling a whole bunch, you can simply just take your back foot out. Right? Take one foot out, put it half on the board, half on the snow, and then figure out, you know, what those movements you need to do to control your speed. But if you take your one foot out, you can balance yourself, you can catch yourself, and you're not falling as much.
Right, that's a very good one, Graham.
Right?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
And then once you have the movements, you can strap back in and give it another try.
Yeah, so you feel that control, right?
Yeah.
Like instead of just not having control,
Yeah.
which is so scary.
There you go.
Cool.
Okay, so there's a couple things that we wish we knew.
And we wish that's it's going to
We're
help
happy
you.
that you know now.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. To get the most out of this series, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can be the first to know when the next episode drops.
Right, you can follow us on Instagram as well, and please don't hesitate to share your comment and your questions. So we want to know what you want to know or need to know, what you're struggling with, like we are here for you.
That's it. And please share this with the people in your world that are stoked on snowboarding too. Maybe they're going to learn this coming season, or they've had one season under their belts, but this series is as much for them as it is for you.
Right, so here we are. What are we going to see in the next episode, Graham?
Oh, coming up on the next episode, we're going to do Snowboards 101. We're going to talk about flex, we're going to talk about shape, and we're going to give you practical tips on how to choose your first snowboard.
Yes, so thanks again, and we see you soon.
All right.